JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 30th of October 2020. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this quick Friday's afternoon session where we're gonna have a look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. Some of the charts that we looked at this morning just to see how everything's getting along. But yeah, before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so just before we jump into the charts, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos. And of course, our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yeah, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top, guys. So there we go. So yeah. Now jumping into the charts, quick update here and with the German index. Yes, it opened today with a nice gap to the downside, but as you can see, this is what I talked about this morning in my Traders Espresso. But as you can see, it kind of got filled quickly, and the index is now testing this 11,575 territory that I talked about previously. So let's see if we get a nice daily close today above this area, or even better, above the 11,600 zone, because if it can do that, then well, we'll have ourselves a nice weekly candle kind of staying above it and just having that little false breakout below this key support zone. But of course, the moment, I mean, the only thing we can do is wait, and let's see how all this is going to play out in regards to this area, this key resistance area, which previously acted as a good support zone. Like I said, keep your eyes on that 11,575 territory, and then we'll take it from there. But I will pick up on this one on Monday. The U.S. Dow Jones is trading slightly in the red. It's trading below this hurdle, below this key support zone near the 26,537 zone, which is the lowest point of September. Of course, the similar story as with the German index. Let's see if this index, or should I say, let's see where this index is going to end up being today. For now, everything's kind of leaning a little bit more to the downside. However, again, we have a full U.S. session to go through still, so let's see if this by any chance reverses back up here. If it does, and if it closes above the 26,537 territory, then maybe the bears are not ready to drive this one lower, and we could see a bit of a nice correction to the upside here going into next week. So again, all eyes are on this area, on this lowest point of September. So let's see how that's going to play out. Now, DXY is struggling with this barrier, the 93.90 zone. I talked about this morning, and when I was saying that I'm a little bit more bullish than bearish, and I still am. But I would like to see a nice good firm move above this 93.90 territory. At the moment, we did get that initially, but it didn't really follow through. So we're now back to this level. So let's see where this is going to end today as well. There's basically a lot of waiting to do, and to be honest, it's Friday, and we don't want to overdo it. So rather keep it for Monday and then react, or should I say act accordingly. For now, all eyes are on this level, this 93.90 zone. If we get a nice daily close above it, then yes, further acceleration to the upside towards the 94.65 level would be possible. If it stays below this hurdle, then I'll take a bit of a neutral stand, because for me to start looking at some downside, I would need to see a move back below all of these lines here, the upside one and the downside one. So keep your eyes on that one. Silver is kind of recovering a little bit, not much. It flirted with this 22.89 level that I talked about this week. Yes, we had a nice drop below the 24 zone, so that's great. It drifted further south, but now this kind of area is the one that I'm keeping an eye on, because in a way, although we are seeing a bit of a correction here to the upside, that's all it could be, a little correction, especially if the price struggles to get back above the 21-day EMA shown as the yellow line. If it does, then yes, I'll start looking at the upside, but then I would prefer to see a push above the 25.24 level here in order to get a little bit more excited with the upside. For now, I'm still a little bit more bearish than bullish on this one, especially if the price continues to trade below the 21-day EMA. Ripple. Ripple is just a quick update on this one, because this morning I talked about this one, and what I was saying that yes, we were breaking this this upside line, but to be honest, I would prefer to see a drop below the 0.2288 zone, which we almost managed to reach, but as you can see, the bulls are really trying hard to get this one back above this upside line taken from the low of the 13th of March. Let's see if they can do that. At the moment, it's a little bit more bearish than bullish. However, again, let's see how this is going to play out today, because if this daily candle remains somewhere in this territory, will still be a bit more bearish than bullish. However, to get a little bit more excited with the downside, as I mentioned this morning, we need to see a drop below this area right here, the 0.2288 zone. Now, jumping into AUD JPY, so far so good, I would say. The pair is struggling to overcome this 73.97 territory, this 74 zone. I talked about this, and what I was saying previously, that if we struggle to get above it, then, well, I mean, we could see another round of selling here. So for now, that's the idea that I'm sticking to. So yep, for now, like I said, I'll remain bearish if the rate continues to trade below the 74 territory right here. If it climbs above it, then I'll go for a bit of a larger correction here to the upside towards this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 31st of August. USD CAD. Now, this pair is so far doing what I was expecting it to do. It's trying to go for that little correction to the downside. It did attempt to go lower. Now, looking at this picture, I'm going to take a bit of a cautious approach here, because yes, ideally I would like to see this move here a bit more to the downside, where it could test the 1.3240 zone and then reverse and push higher again. But I'll keep an eye on this barrier as well, this 1.3340 territory, because if that gets broken earlier first, then yes, higher levels here could be met. So again, for now, guys, keep your eyes on this one, and especially also keep your eyes on the 4-hour chart, because we could be seeing here, you probably don't see it clearly on the daily chart maybe, but we could be seeing here a nice potential triangle forming. So so yeah, basically that means that the rate is coiling up a little bit. So jumping back into the daily chart, jumping into another one, very interesting one, and that's the euro against the Turkish lira. Guys, I mean, I hope you're not really shorting this one, because as you can see today, for example, it was trade in the morning. It was trading a little bit here on the downside. However, look at this beautiful move here. The bulls jumping back into this one and pushing this one higher, and again creating a new all-time high for it. I mean, not a huge one, maybe just not overshooting it by too much, but yeah, it creating a new all-time high. So again, for now, guys, be very careful with that downside. There is a bit of a problem with that scenario, I would say. So I would prefer to wait for at least maybe a drop now, given that it shifted a little bit more to the downside. I would prefer to wait for a drop below the 9.37 territory first, and then aim for some lower levels, because at the same time the rate would be placed below the 21-day EMA shown as the yellow line. Euro GBP, so again, continues to flirt with this key support zone, and but at one point today they did drop below that that psychological 0.90 zone. So again, for now, guys, I'm gonna keep my eyes on this one. This key support zone near the 0.9007 level. If we get a daily close, or no, I wouldn't say a daily close, but if you get the daily candle staying below this area, now this is where it could become a little bit more interesting for more sellers, and further declines towards that 200-day EMA could be possible. But at the moment, guys, keep your eyes on this one today. Let's see where this daily candle is going to end up being. Either if it's going to remain here somewhere, then yep, I'm still going to take a bit of a neutral stand. But if it stays below the 0.9007 level, then yes, I'll start looking at some lower areas in next week. And finally, Euro USD. So to be honest, not much is happening here. The pair still continues to trade below this 1.1696 territory. That kind of supports my idea of remaining a bit more bearish than bullish on this one. So like I said, I'll keep an eye on today's daily candle as well and see where it's going to end up being, because if by any chance it travels back above this 1.1696 territory, then well, we'll have ourselves a nice false breakout on a weekly candle. But if it stays, this daily candle remains here, then the weekly candle will be nicely below this 1.1696 territory. So again, as long as it stays below this area, I'm still aiming for some lower areas. My first initial target is the 1.1612 zone, so let's keep an eye on that one. So guys, this was just a quick overview. So I hope you kind of found it useful. If you want to catch my video on Monday morning, my Trader's Espresso, 7 o'clock GMT time as always, guys. So yep. But basically for now, guys, I hope you're not trading anymore, and I hope you're ready for the weekend. Stay safe, relax as much as possible, get the energy, and prepare yourselves for next week, guys. So have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.